So I'm recording the class now. If anyone else wishes to record, what usually happens at the beginning of the class, you can just let me know. Just raise your hand and I'll allow you to record. However, if you're on a laptop, you can. Desktop, you can. If you're on a phone, you can't. Or an iPad, you can't. From what I know. Okay, anyone else will record? We are recording, but if anyone else wants to record as a backup, it'll be good. Yeah, this lowering of some virtual hands can be avoided. Why can't you show your actual hand? You have a hand, no, Ayan? Anyway. Okay, anyone else wants to record? Okay, what happens is, even if you don't record, it's fine. The video of this class we upload on a folder and people can get it probably within 24 hours time, or as instantly as the thing uploads. Okay, so these are the departments of music: melody, harmony, rhythm. Now in order to learn melody, you need to learn first of all the available notes which you have, right? You'll need to know the names of the notes. You'll need to know also where to find them, and not only where to find them, also how to find them fast. If someone tells you play an E flat, fair enough, that's E flat, so that also I'll teach you. Then after that, someone may say from E flat you need to play something else. Maybe you need to play a G. Fair enough, even that's fine. But now what if someone tells you play me the major third, or play me the sixth or the minor sixth from E flat? Well, one argument is you need to know that it's possibly B, which comes somewhere. But then the other thing is your ears need to hear the B also, no? So your ear has to be like la, and then we need to match it on the piano or the guitar or the violin or whatever instrument we play. Now whatever I did right now shows that I have really looked at the notes with the theory, with the ear training, and also with the execution. That's the practical part, right? The technique. So with theory we try to address the question of knowledge. Whatever is given to you, you should know it. And ear training addresses the question, whatever you need to know, you need to hear it, right? And you need to put it into a grouping. You need to put it in some kind of a category. Like I heard something which is a bit sad now, or I heard something which is a bit happy now, or I heard something which is a bit what are the other emotions we have? Maybe scary, yeah, or something from a horror movie. Yeah. So now your ear already knows this, isn't it? Some of you got a shock when I played this sound, and so on. So your ear already knows it, because we are all human beings. We all know emotions. That's not a big deal. But ear training is more to make it organized very well. So theory and ear training may be subjects which, are a little beyond things like going to the internet and typing, I want to learn how to play this song on the guitar fast. Or a very common YouTube search is, you have beginner versions of songs, right? So it's a great way to get people to work with music or to get involved with music. But the challenge of that is, for all instruments it starts becoming a worry. Like for piano players, one problem with YouTube piano or these apps like whatever, Simply Best, Awesome Piano, or some other such apps is, everyone is first of all teaching you to play with one hand, right? And that destroys the piano. The piano has never been meant to be played with one hand. It's almost a criminal thing to play the piano with one hand. Or if ever you want to play with one hand, why don't you just go and learn a flute or the violin? Those instruments are really nice for melody, isn't it? So the reason we choose piano is because of what the piano offers for music. It can play things like chords. You can do things like that. You can even play melody. But now the problem, what happened is I need two hands to do that, isn't it? So we need to know what the left hand should do. Then we need to know what the right hand should do. Then we need to know what the why we are doing it also. We have to do it ultimately to please people. We have to play this music for friends, family, and we need to know what they also enjoy. So we need to know why we are playing the piano. And another reason to play the piano is to make people dance, to play rhythms, right? To play various patterns. So if you look at a few other instruments, let's say if you look at maybe the guitar. So the guitar, first of all, when you play the guitar, you have again two hands, like how it is on the piano. But then the two hands have to work together. Unlike the piano, where one hand does melody generally, and the other hand will do harmony or rhythm. So on a guitar, what you're supposed to do is press the frets or press the strings on the fret. So what happens is the length of the string gets adjusted. So if I played this note without my what is this hand? Left hand. Without the left hand, if I played this one pitch, it's not going to be very controllable. But then if I change it with this hand, and the pitch is getting higher or lower. Pitch is clearly getting higher. Why is the pitch getting higher? Because the string length is being adjusted by my hand, and the length of the string is now equal to the distance between my ring finger and this tuning peg, the thing which is holding it in place, right? So because of that, so we need to understand pitch. And then when you play things like the guitar, well, you have a note here, and then you need to figure out your sounds. So la la, now where is that note? It's possibly there, right? But then there are so many options. There are like millions of possibilities. How did I find the one possibility which I wanted? That's because you need to have some ear training, and you need to know your instrument, you need to know your shapes and all that, and you need to know what that note should sound like, right? And when you know these basic things, you can not only learn that one song you wanted to learn, you can learn quite a few songs possibly. And it becomes a very fast journey eventually. So the way we generally cope with learning music, I guess, should be like how we build a tree, right? If you don't build a tree properly in the beginning stages, well, you have millions or billions or zillions of seeds, but not all of them grow to become a tree, right? So we have to take that challenge and we have to grow it. So when you grow it, you know how difficult it is initially. Takes time, lot of watering, but then after a point, a lot of these trees can survive on their own. They don't need a teacher, they don't need anyone, they can just manage. But then people need to reach that stage. Does that happen overnight? Unfortunately not, right? Because music is just like anything. So if we have to compare this music subject with anything, I guess you can possibly compare it with how, if any of you, I'm sure, have played a sport. Learning music is, I would say, the same process as learning a sport, or learning how dancing, or learning theater, or learning acting, any of those skills. It's always a process. So with a sport, what happens? No one is going to just only tell you the rules of the sport. They'll allow you to play. They'll allow you to go on the field and kick the ball or hit the shuttle or whatever, and get started with the sport. And you learn the rules, you learn everything along the way, I guess. So it's important, even when you play a sport, you need to learn the rules, you need to then develop the technique, and of course the muscles. Playing music is no different. Like, to actually hold this convincingly for a beginner needs to take some time, right? You want that to be clean. You want all the strings to be clean, and you also need to know how to tune this thing. And then what if something goes wrong? What if a string breaks? What do you do then? You have to fix that problem, right? So with all these instruments, we every musical instrument is amazing. It all does something which the other. And why is it amazing? It's also because the guitar will do so many things with the which the piano can never do, and the piano can do so many things which the guitar can never do. What is the one thing the guitar can do which the piano can never do? Maybe playing down and up, while on the piano you can only play down. How will you play up on the piano? There's nothing to play up, isn't it? So on the guitar you need to learn your right hand. If you're a right player, your right hand is essentially the energy giver, while your left hand is more the driver with the steering wheel. So here we decide what to play. If I don't use this hand, it just sounds useless. So you need both hands, right? So, and then this guitar is quite cool because if you go down, you can also go up. It's the same sound, but that allows you to play a bit fast, and it also allows you to play patterns, like maybe this one. Or I could even play it with more notes. Or I can not even play anything here. I can mute this. That also sounds quite cool. So almost everything about the guitar sounds cool, and it also looks really nice, doesn't it? Actually, I like guitars. I like how guitars look than pianos. Look at this piano. It's just black or white. That's all it is. Guitars, you get them in different colors and whatnot. I wish I had chosen guitar as my main instrument, but now I can't turn back. Anyway, so the knowledge, which is music theory, ear training, which is what you hear. So we need to group or divide all the sounds which are being played at us and hear those things well. And last but not least, as all musicians like to do, we like to play, right? Or singers tend to like to sing. I call it the same thing. So if you do all this, we have a three-dimensional way of doing music learning. And if you learn music in a three-dimensional way, a lot of things start happening. One thing is, you will all, whether you like it or not, play music for the rest of your life. That will be very, very true, because your mind and your body wants to do it. You are not forced by someone to do it. You are not just saying, oh, this is one checklist which I'd like to cover along a series of other checklists, which perhaps you'll have a bungee jump which you want to check, then you want to do play guitar, right? This is wrong. This is completely wrong. Why is this wrong? Because a bungee jump is not a lifestyle decision. Bungee jumps will happen just one day. You just say, I want to go with my friends to some horror movie or to a Disney World theme park or some such thing. That's more of an experience, right? But playing the guitar is like part of what you do, right? It's also part of other more regular activities like brushing one's teeth or reading the newspaper or walking your dog, right? So it should become like that, I think. And when music becomes like that, you're going to do a good job. So don't look at short-term goals. All of you have come to learn an instrument well, I would imagine. So don't look at the short-term goals and put one tick mark like that. That's not of any value. I mean, you will feel good. Your friends may get impressed for a few moments, And then yeah, after a while those friends will not bother. They'll want something else which you want to give them. What if you just only played the guitar? That itself is cool. You can just keep telling people, I play the guitar, or I play the piano, or I sing. And if someone will ask you, what did you do the other day? And you're like, I did this new thing. I worked with that musician from somewhere, or I learned a new thing. I learned something new, or I'm releasing an album shortly. These are the things which your friends are going to actually be impressed. Not that you're actually playing some, rather boring song taught by one YouTube guy in a very, very simple way, which is first of all wrong, like the one-handed piano approach, or like how every guitar teacher on the internet who teaches Bollywood songs, he'll play four chords. First of all, the Bollywood songs don't have the greatest of chords. Some of them do, a lot of them don't. So this guy actually plays annoying chords wrongly, and then he has millions of views because everyone wants to learn it because it's easy to play. And so what if it's easy to play? I mean, it sounds horrible, right? So these are the things in a nutshell what we'll be doing in our course. So I will be contributing to that skill, or to all of this in a small way, and so will your other teachers who will handle your instrument classes. So in total you're going to have 16 instrument lessons. That's one a week, isn't it, for 4 months? It also includes 16 vocal lessons. Then you will also have 9 theory classes. We're calling them theory, but we focus on even ear training, composing, song analysis, listening, a few other things. So totally we have 25 classes in this school. Okay, the theory classes are for 2 hours, and the instrument classes are for 90 minutes. 90 minutes is also 1.5 hours. So the classes are actually quite long, and also this is not this thing, crash course. It's completely not a crash course. Now the reason why this course is 4 months long, there's a very, very important reason. That's because of a few reasons. One is it's a graded certificate course. What do we mean by that? Along every week of your training, your attendance, your assignments, we'll have tests. So think of it as a normal school which teaches, where the subject of interest is music, right? So another thing, on the internet, these are famous words, isn't it? Crash course. What is another famous word? I don't even know how to spell it. So annoying. This is one of the worst words I've ever had to deal with. Hobby, right? So a hobby is what now? A hobby is something you can do and you're good at. Now, if you keep calling it a hobby, what tends to happen is it diminishes dreams which you may have to actually do something with that craft, right? Those dreams don't have to give you money. Those dreams can make you feel very, very happy along the line. So as a hobby, whenever we say we are learning music as a hobby, we're always downplaying our skill or our confidence and our ability, which has been given to us, through a lot of good signs or luck or whatever. Not all of us even have the opportunity to come for a course like this. Imagine how many people have internet connections in India. That itself is a drop, isn't it? So let's not call this a hobby course, because see, also the other challenge is, if someone has to teach a hobby course, they should also be doing it as a hobby, So the problem here is none of us are doing this as a hobby. In fact, for me, music teaching is more the fun element of my job. The main work people like us do, and the other faculty are in studio recordings, working for film composers, uh, cutting albums, touring, playing shows, and that's a lot of work. So actually, come to think of it, teaching music is one of the most relaxing things for people like us, right? Even though we try to do it as best as possible, but let's not call this a crash course or a hobby course, because it's unfortunately not. Crash course will mean you should feel good immediately, and then it's over, gone, right? So it's none of these. So it's a graded certificate course, and what we used to do earlier, which is what has really made our school what it is it's a performance based course. Okay, now it was a performance based course until batch number 76 or 77, if I'm not mistaken. So what used to happen is students would learn. The learning is normal. All these 25 classes are not so performance driven. It's just a normal music class, right? But what ends up happening along with you learning all this is you're going to prepare for a concert. And we designed that system to see how good our faculty are, number one, and to see how good the school is in general, the syllabus, and to see how the students are responding to it. Now that started in 2009, but then we learned that, I mean, it's never been about that ever since we saw the first concert. So the first concert was the reason why our school even exists in the first place, because that is the motivation we get from students like you, right? Because we don't want to just teach you the guitar, teach you how to sing, and just leave it like that and do our job. We want our work to come out in a way to make other people who have no clue of music smile, dance, clap their hands, come out and have a great time because of you, right? So that is what will actually make us proud. So the graded certificate, yes, that is it's a huge goal that makes this a very detailed course. You'll have to be very good. You'll have to work hard if you want an A plus. It's not going to just be thrown to you. An A plus in this school is a serious achievement. No one needs to tell you where you're going to go in the field of music if you get an A plus here. It's a huge achievement. That implies there's so many things, right? So how do we solve this performance based problem right now during the time of the coronavirus? It becomes rather impossible, and looks like very few venues are even opening up because they have lost so much of opportunities. So we are going to do either one of the following. One is we have what's called as an online collab. So an online collaboration is great because you sit in your house and you will be taught a recording software by us, a very basic and absolutely free recording software which should help you to record your vocals, piano, drums, whatever, in your house, in your bedroom or living room or whatever. And then you put it all into a project folder, what we call a project folder, and you collaborate with your batchmates. So the challenge of the online collaboration is some people are not very tech savvy, so then we try to figure that out. So this is a challenge. Actually, this is not like a guitar class where you only have to play the thing. Here we have a lot of technical challenges, right? So everyone has to communicate well, everyone has to learn a bit of recording. Those of you who are kids, your parents have to also help. It's not a endless job. If you just want to do it, it will happen, right? And it has been happening, and it is now going very strong. That's why I've actually put it out as an official thing. Earlier we just gave it as an option. Okay, so now we want this to be an online collaboration. At the same time, for those of you living in Bengaluru, you have an offline recording which we showcase. So we'll spend one day and we'll showcase these performances on our networks and share it with all our channels basically, and try to promote it as best as possible, and you can too. And in both these settings, it's a good goal, because unlike a concert will start and end and then it's over. We don't talk about it too much. But what happens with a YouTube video, right? That video is going to be there only forever, right? Even if you don't see it, someone else is going to see it, right? So you want to really give it your best shot. You want to really perform this well and practice really well, in order to make sure that all your friends and family, when once we release the final product, which comes as a video obviously with good quality audio, which we produce in our studio called NPH, which is Nathaniel Production House. So we do a lot of recordings here itself, and yeah, actually our school started as a studio, and then it became a school. So we've been doing recordings a lot, and with the coronavirus, it's sort of gotten us to go back to what we used to do best, which is recordings. We really hope that performances will come back into play very soon. But you all know the problem. There is Diwali, there's crackers, there's all these other festivals coming up. Obviously, the cases are going to spike. No one is going to show that in the news. It will still spike, and people will think that Corona is over because of all the parties which are going to go on. Unfortunately, it is only over until we know it's over, and we all know when it is actually over. So let's not have this risk of performing music at the current moment. However, let's keep the intensity going by doing an online collab and an offline recording, which requires, I would say, more effort than even a concert, because you are generating a product which has to be with you for pretty much your entire life. Like, you want to look back at that even 10 years from now and say, nice, I did something cool in the year 2021 Feb or something. Okay, so yeah, it's a very, it's not a hobby course. I hope we are getting to that point eventually. And last but not least, we have regular tests and assignments. This is the most important part of this course. So it really makes it a structured course. In fact, right now till today, this class, at least when I teach you, it is very much planned. It's part of the music method syllabus. In fact, that's the name of your course. It's called music method. It's not like we have any other course. We have only one course. We just call it music method, because we are not affiliated to any other body like Trinity School or some other school. If we were, we wouldn't be able to serve an Indian audience, I feel, because there's no value of systems which are only designed for another audience, right? And we don't only do classical music here. That's why we chose against Trinity and ABRSM, because those colleges are quite classically inclined. We try to focus on blues, jazz, rock, and classical, and Indian music. Like, we try to do a lot of Indian songs as well, which how will you learn if you're trying to do a British board syllabus, right? So we've been doing this for a while now. As you know, you're part of batch 83. It's a lot of students we've had if you do the math over these years, and our course has improved and it keeps improving. So even with your help, giving your suggestions to us, especially now with everything online, suggestions are very, very welcome in order to make the course as best as possible. Okay, so you will have tests, you will have assignments. And how many tests? Let's write that down. You have 2 tests and you have 5 official assignments. Now, what is an official assignment? An official assignment is something you have to record on the shared folder, shared batch folder. A shared batch folder is a account we've made which allows you to just upload files, ideally video files or MP3s or pictures or anything. we just use something like Google or Dropbox, one of the two. Now you don't need storage space for that. We will only make the folder. Your job is to put the file there. Okay, and the assignments have a deadline. For example, your first assignment will be due week number 3. It will be announced week number 3 and it will be due week number 4 end. Friday of week number 4 of your batch. Okay, while I'm doing this, I'm just going to also open up the syllabus very quickly in a neat calendar format. That will also help. Yeah, while I'm opening this, if anyone has a question, please ask.
Hi, Jason. I have a
Yeah.
question. Can you explain the difference between what is a chord and a melody and a harmony?
Yeah, unfortunately, the class has yet to start, but we will talk about that. But in a nutshell, what I will do is I'll just give you a few examples. So a chord is something like this, right? The moment I play a series of notes, it gives you immediately like a landscape for a movie. It's almost like a backdrop for your scene. You kind of know what the scene is all about, right? This may not be the world's most calm scene. It's more eerie and mystical, while this may be more relaxing. Maybe more you're relaxing on a beach or something, just enjoying the sun or something. Okay, so that's a chord. A chord is a series of notes which are played together. A melody is a series of notes played one after the other. For example, this melody. Right, but now with this melody, this is just a melody. We need to now, how good is a movie if you only have the lead actor just happily talking? So what if there's a lead actor? You need other people as well, right? So you add the things to the melody. That was a lot different than that version, right? And then rhythm is about the how you can make the people move to the music. So if I have to play this melody, it's not really making you dance or anything. So if I choose a dance rhythm, yeah, I can see 2 or 3 people dancing. Yeah, unfortunately, it's only children. It will be nice to see others also dance. But anyway, so that's the rhythm part. Okay, so I've given you all this. Now I have to actually break this down and tell you how you can do that. That is the point of this particular course. Okay, coming to the calendar. This is pretty much the calendar you're going to have. So you can all see this, I hope. Yeah. Yeah, so it's a 16-week course. So you see assignment 1, assignment 2, assignment 3, test number 1, test number 2, theory. We give a break for theory since there's 9 classes. A lot is covered, so you also need to do some work there. You'll have to revise it and come back. So we give a gap. This test is in week 10. After that, we do some song selection because we have to choose songs for your showcase, or we've even put or performance because you never know whether, if we can perform, awesome, we will. But then I understand that a lot of you are not from Bangalore, so even you people need to engage with our school. So what better way to do it with online collaboration? It's a tough job, trust me. It's an extremely challenging job for all of us involved, you and us, but it's a lot of fun once it happens. Once we actually get it done, it will feel really good. We are going to watch that for the years to come, and so will you. So I think that's a good challenge to have. So this is the job here. So while you're doing these other classes, you'll also be jamming, collaborating with your classmates, whoever's learning. So what happens here is your teachers will help you with the song, obviously, but you guys also will get to interact with each other. For example, the singer has to tell the guitar player the scale of the song, how she wishes to structure the song, right? Or which version. Maybe you're doing someone else's version of some Beyonce song. So now you have to specify the other person's version. And then everyone in your band has to enjoy that. What if one guy doesn't even like that? Right? So we also have to handle people liking and disliking things. So that becomes a human challenge, which we will deal with. But usually we get this job done quite smoothly, and that's about the school pretty much. So right now I've talked about the school, the course, an overview of what you're learning and why you should learn it that way. And in conclusion, before we start with the theory chapter for today, it's also important to understand a few things. Like with music, as I may have stated a bit earlier in a different way, music is more about the journey, right? It is not so much about the result. Should let the result just take care of itself. Very similar to sports. If you train well, if you've practiced hard, you will run a marathon, right? You just leave it to that. But then on the final day, result may or may not happen, isn't it? So that's the beauty of performance, be it sport, be it theater, be it dancing. You know, the world's greatest dancer may just by mistake, but twist an ankle. So what? That doesn't mean that she didn't enjoy the journey, or rather, you should enjoy this more, because this is what we can all enjoy, right? And leave the result to chance and don't work for that result. So try to take this away. The journey is very exciting with music. You'll have a lot to do. You'll have to learn some songs, you'll have to learn some chords, you'll have to practice, you'll have to finish your assignments, you'll have to do the tests. So if you do all that, the result is pretty much inevitable. And the result will be a lot of things. With musical results, it's not just winning a match, or being the best in a race or something like that. There's so many nice musical results out there which are amazing to be part of. Okay, so on that note, I'm pretty much done with the school introduction. I hope I haven't forgotten anything. A few technical things you all need to learn. Let me write that down so it's easy for everyone. A few technical things. You all need to learn and get an account in Google Drive, G Drive. In fact, while I'm talking right now, I'm assuming all of you are on the WhatsApp batch group. Is that right? So I would like you to, right now while I'm talking, it's not a big deal, just write your full name. We will enter this into our grading sheets. Full name as how you want it to appear on the certificate. The full name should not say Saumya. It should not say Smriti Srinivasan without a space bar between Smriti and Srinivasan. That looks annoying. Anyway, so then you also have to submit the G Drive email ID. It's okay, you change the name later. Okay, email ID. And this email is for Google Drive access. If you already have been using it, fair enough. If not, you type that. And what else? Your instrument, either instrument or vocals. So within the next 2 to 3 days, we'll get this job done. Yeah.
Where should we be writing this? Like
in the WhatsApp group. You can
That's
make a
only for admins. It says that only admins can
yeah,
message.
and there's an issue with the admin only. He's not given you access to write whatever you want, which I'll fix now. Hold on. I don't know if the admin is here only, so I'll only do it.
We had shared
Okay.
these details when we enrolled though.
Yeah, but see, we need to set up the assignment folder.
Okay, sure.
So the assignment folder is a little differently done. So yeah, right now all participants can send messages, so you can send it.
Hi, Jason, this is Raghu here.
Yes.
In terms of, uh, thanks for explaining all this so far. When it comes to the actual classes, will everyone be grouped in the like the same class? Because obviously some of us could be having some exposure already, and the skill level could be different. So how would you be assessing that, and how would you be grouping everyone so that we can make the best out of it?
So with obviously guitar students will only learn together, piano students will learn together, and so on. And Western singers will learn in one batch. Hindustani will learn in the other batch. However, if you're an intermediate slash advanced player, we will know it in the first class, and either we can adapt the same exercises for you in an intermediate way, or we'll put you in an intermediate batch. So then we'll have two batches, one beginner guitar and the other intermediate guitar. So that's, or whatever. In any case, the batch sizes will be quite small, under 3 to 4 students. So it's easy to have attention with the teachers.
Sure, thank you.
Okay. Any other questions before we start the class? The class has not started. It's just about the school. Also, a few more tech things. So, G Drive, WhatsApp is there. The other very, very important thing is YouTube. Try to be part of our YouTube channel. That is also very important, because we'll have a lot of exercises which you could benefit from. Where should I write my full name? You write your full name in the WhatsApp group, the official Batch 83 WhatsApp group. If you are not on the WhatsApp group, you could request your parent to help you out with that problem. But more than your name, I want your email ID. So in that email ID, we'll share the folder with that email ID. And then all of you will be in that folder and you submit your assignment. Yeah, Aditya.
Sir, is there another group?
Is there
Like,
another group? For
yeah,
what?
like
Theater?
no, for piano there's another thing like batch 82 to something like that.
Yeah, there will be subgroups as well. I don't want to simply talk about subgroups and all that. That will start getting a bit complicated. But what's going to happen is we are going to start the first class probably end of this week for most of you. And the next theory class will be the upcoming Saturday. So when all this particular thing happens, by then you will also be added to these subgroups called piano or guitar or all that, and the teachers only will manage that. We don't really get so involved with those groups. The teachers only will do it, and the classes sort of get scheduled in a very regular way, so you don't have to go back and forth with the teacher to say when is the next class, ma'am, or when is the next class, sir, or whatever. It's just a standard thing which happens once every week. And if you cannot miss the class, you can always request your batch and the teacher to kind of move it one day or the other, or half an hour earlier, this way, that way. That is all there, but it's easier to discuss that on the subgroups. So that you all can do there. There are a few clear cut things, like my piano classes are in the mornings. So one of the weekdays early morning you'll have your piano class. We choose early morning a lot because of school classes starting and also office goers. Generally, work starts, school starts, everything starts by 8:30, 9 at the max. So we try to finish all the music classes before that, and we keep Saturday for our tests and theory classes with me and other things. So that leaves you with pretty much weekdays and for your instrument classes. So I would suggest to speak to the admin and get your timings and all that sorted out. Most of you have probably already got it sorted out, but we'll make an official announcement by next week, by Tuesday or Wednesday, just to conclude. Okay, Suman is in this class, Tiana is in that class, Amandeep is in that particular class. Just a way to confirm. It's also a great way to see if we've not screwed up anything. What if we forgotten to add you? That will be a horrible problem to deal with, right? Anyway, so YouTube is very important. We have a nice channel where a lot of supplementary videos can be watched. So if we are teaching you a chapter, we'll tell you head over to YouTube, and like there'll always be like one revision chapter. And now that you're learning from us, our YouTube channel will become very customized for you. That could be one channel which will work very well. You don't have to search for too many things. Like for example, there's a chapter we do on chords and chord inversions, chord theory. So many people teach that chapter, right? But since you're learning from us, you might as well gamble with the chapter which we are teaching, with our channel, right? So we always suggest that, especially when it's theory and technique, because if your teacher is telling you something, there'll be thousands of other people explaining the same thing, and then YouTube becomes a problem. You'll have to find thousands of videos which are the same thing, really. So YouTube becomes nice. Also, do follow us on Instagram. We're not as active as we possibly should, but we'll definitely be doing a lot of interesting quizzes which we put out on Instagram stories, and a few posts here and there where we announce new courses. Like, so here's what happens. So all of you have signed up for a 4-month package which includes theory and the instrument training. However, we do a lot of other additional classes. I see some of you here have already attended some of my other classes. So what happens is we do these occasional workshops or very, very short courses, like 1-month courses, and these are very, very affordable. It's really affordable compared to anything you would have done. It'll just be about $500-600 or 1,000 rupees at the max to do these things. And in these, whenever we announce them, there could be a lot of topics which interest you, like for example, music production, mixing and mastering, electronic music. We could get a guest faculty to do a class, right? Or we may just do one class on how to use the metronome, like an entire exclusive class. Now in a theory class, since I'm teaching a lot of you with different ages and different levels, I can't possibly invest 2 hours just teaching you about the metronome, or I can't invest 8 hours teaching you about one genre. Like if I have to teach you blues music, we have a course for that, right? So these are very additional things which you could consider, and if you like those are topics which are not make or break topics for musicians, but they are nice things to learn. Like vocalists may have heard of this concept called vocal harmony, where many people sing together. Now to do that in the vocal class will also happen by our teacher, but we have an exclusive 1-month course on that subject. It's called vocal harmony. However, there will not be 1-month courses on music theory, because that's redundant. You're going to learn that from me as part of your package. There's not going to be too many ear training things, because I'm going to teach you ear training as well, right? But maybe things like songwriting, composition, music production, topics which are not 100% mandatory for everyone in this room, can be studied in another way. So follow us on Instagram for these workshops 1-month courses and whatnot. I guess the handles you can check are, what is this, Nathaniel School, and if you'd like you can also follow me. I put up these things called daily riffs, which is quite cool for pianists and composers. So what happens is you watch that riff and listen to it, and you can learn it. There's a tutorial for that and a slow version, and you can even use it as something you can use for your own song. Okay, so that may be a nice thing to follow as well. I pretty much only post riffs, and whenever I'm doing a new course I may just share it, or if I'm performing something, if I do, and if I'm releasing an album of my music, I will put that up. So very soon we'll be releasing our 5th album as a band, called the Jason Zach Band. So you could look out for that and check out some of our other albums which we've released on every platform available. Spotify is a nice thing to be part of. You can listen to a lot of high quality music there, and it's very affordable, isn't it? It's barely anything. So try to get some listening account. That's another thing I needed to put out under the tech. G Drive, check WhatsApp messages regularly, including the notifications sometimes. Be part of our YouTube channel. You can just go to YouTube and type Nathaniel School. We have a channel there, so watch that, or whenever you need to, there'll be some exercises you can watch there. Then we have Instagram for quizzes and a few interactive things, and you guys need to get yourselves a Spotify or something like an Apple Music or Amazon Music or any other streaming platform to listen to music regularly. As part of learning in a music school, you also need to listen to music, right? You can't come to a class to listen to music. That's a bit weird. So you have to actually, all musicians and music lovers have one thing in common. We listen. We should listen to the music. You can't play tennis if you don't love or enjoy Roger Federer or Serena Williams, right? Why would you want to go and play tennis in any case, right? So you don't do those. You need an inspiration, you need a role model and all that. So any sport, you need someone who's awesome, like Sachin Tendulkar or Virat Kohli, to look at and idolize, and then you try to follow them. And then at some point, the beauty about music, unlike sports, is you can actually say, after about 2 or 3 years, you can say, I want to make music like Mark Knopfler. I like his guitar playing. I like the fact that he uses his fingers. I like the genres of music he's into. So I want to base my playing on Mark Knopfler. But then you will never become Mark Knopfler, because that's a different personality. But in the quest to sound like him, you will sound like you. So that's a nice way to look at music. So listen to stuff. And kids also can request their parents. I know some parents don't allow kids on a phone, but here and there, yeah, just to listen to songs, I think it's fine. You can listen to music, and the songs we'll only suggest. And anything which is not for children, they have a kind of a marking, R-rated or some other thing. And in any case, those songs are useless. Even adults should never listen to such nonsense in any case, right? So anything which is all this R-rated stuff is probably some rapper fighting with another rapper for no reason, and then everyone else has to listen to that and be part of that fight. Why can't they actually fight? That'll be fun, watching them wrestle or something. But anyway, they want to do it by speaking, and then they start using some annoying words which you should ignore if you're a kid. Okay, so generally the R-rated stuff which is not for children is anyways music which kids will not miss because it sucks. So you can avoid that. And generally avoid, if it's Bollywood songs or Hindi songs or Kannada songs or Tamil songs, just try to avoid watching the videos of these songs. See, why do you need the videos? First of all, they are lip syncing. Like, why would you ever want to watch a video where Kareena Kapoor is playing the guitar? I mean, how is that fun? What is she doing? And in the video, as a musician, as you're going to learn, you will actually see her playing a lead guitar solo when there's no lead. And then you'll actually hear her playing the chords when there is a lead. Right? And the funny thing about some videos is they don't even try to sing. In the lip syncing, they don't try to sing. Like, you can't even see the Adam's apple move when they're singing. So I mean, you observe these things because you watch other real singers singing. So if ever you're watching videos, don't watch music videos, watch live performance videos. So if you're a fan of Miley Cyrus, you should definitely watch her live performances. She's one of the few artists during COVID who's actually come out with so much of music during this time. She's figured out a way to still, and she's doing a lot of things to bring live music back or keep it relevant, So if ever you're going to YouTube to listen to a song, watch the live performance. Otherwise, what should you do? Open your Spotify app. So don't go to YouTube to lounge and listen to music. Go to YouTube to discover people, watch them performing. You can also, just let me give you a jump start. Go and watch this concert series called Tiny Desk Concert Series. Just type Tiny Desk on YouTube. And I'm sure if you listen to 5 artists today, you're going to love at least 2 of them, and then you will thank me later, hopefully. Yeah, and those 2 artists you're going to find on Tiny Desk will defeat 80% of most of what you possibly have heard. Right? So there are some YouTube channels which are doing very good work, so check it out and be clever with YouTube. That's why I always like to see the artist playing or singing. It also feels better, doesn't it? It's real. Unlike and another challenge is, see, if you're listening to Ilaiyaraaja's music, right, I would personally prefer to just listen to the music. Why should I go type the film name, watch that dialogue which will come for some 2 minutes when you've probably already watched the movie? Why can't you just get straight to the song? So Spotify is a nice tool, at least for film songs. It just allows you to hear the song, and it also allows you to respect the music. Sometimes you will be staring at the video, everyone's going crazy, and you think that it's a good song. But what if you just heard it? So get into some nice cultures. This is all the tech stuff to be worked on, and we'll just take a short 5-minute break after a few questions, and then we'll get on to a very short class today. And from next week, it'll actually start the proper 2-hour session, where again, after 1 hour, I'll give you a short break. You can eat food or whatever and come back. Before we conclude for the short break, I'll leave it open for a couple of questions. Not regarding music, that we'll see later, and regarding the course, the school, or any doubts you may have. Yeah. Okay, great. Okay, see you all in 3 to 5 minutes. We'll meet very soon, and get a book. We'll start with some rhythm exercises. Okay, see you all in 5 max. Yeah. Yeah, you can just write down this rhythm. Okay, while we've written it down, I'll just request someone tell me. See, we see three kinds of things, right? First, we look at these lines. Then we also have these blocks. And then you also have ticks. So can anyone suggest what are these things? What is this line? What is the blocks? And what is the tick? Start. Anyone? Yeah, Suman, Atul.
I think I can start with the tick. I think tick is where we actually play.
Yes.
Um, and these what the blocks are those the small buckets? Are you calling them the blocks?
Yeah, yeah. What is that now, according to you?
These are like beats or notes,
Nice.
yeah, and
You
and
can't call them notes. So these are the notes.
okay, where we actually play it.
Tick mark
Okay.
is the notes which is placed within the beats. And you count the beats. Then what is this line?
That should be the bar.
Bar, yeah.
Ha. Call that as a measure or bar. Okay. So now I am going to set the count. Just going to say 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you people have to just clap on the ticks. We have to produce a sound. So we'll play it at the tick marks. Okay. Ready? But before that, you have to wait for me to give you the speed of the timing. Okay. So you go 1, 2, 3, start. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, can you all show me the clapping? Let's make sure it all happens together. And also, please remember to do it on these points. You don't want to. This is the wrong way to clap. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Isn't it? Why is that wrong? Because that's on all the points. You want it to be only here, not here. In fact, one good thing to do will just be to put an X here. You clearly know you should do nothing there. So tick, X, tick, tick, X, tick, tick, X. Okay, let's clap it. Come on, start. Some of your mics are open. You can mute it. Unless you have a doubt, please mute it. 1, 2, 3, start. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's do this a couple of times together. 1, 2, 3, start. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Again. 1, 2, 4. 1, 2, 3. Right? So very quickly, or even now, if you play an instrument like a guitar or something, you can take anything, take a note like 1, 2, 3, start. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Now I don't have to count because the count is easy now. It's inside. So and you can use the pitches of your keyboard to play these things. Okay, let's clap this again, then I'll do one more rhythm. We'll keep adding more and more rhythms to this set. 2, 3, start. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, 2, 3, 4. Excellent. Why don't we try a couple more? This one. Ready to clap? Okay. 1, 2, 3, start. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, 2 and starting, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. So if you speed it up, it becomes quite interesting. Ta 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 ta. Same rhythm, isn't it? Ta ta ta. But now clapping is getting a bit boring. We need to start a few more things from your house. One is perhaps drumming. Then we can look at singing. Then, of course, from the next class onwards, you'll have to do most of these things with your instrument. So, whoever plays guitar can keep the guitar ready. Whoever plays the keyboard can keep the keyboard ready, and so on. Let's do one more rhythm, but I'm trying to write it slightly differently. Okay, this is the rhythm. K, K, S, K, K, S. So S will last for a while. Now K is the bass drum, which needs to be like a low pitched sound, like doop, doop. So good way to achieve this is to actually stamp the ground in your house lightly, not to cause a disturbance. So just doop, you get a nice low end sound, and the S or the snare drum could be a clap. So this will be a clap, this will be a kick. Why are we not playing the actual drum set? Because you don't seem to have one. If you have one, you can do it even on an actual drum set. So let's do the kick at this beat 1, beat 2 and beat 3. Actually, let's write it down. So this is beat 1, beat 2, beat 3 and beat 4. What are we supposed to do in beat 4? Nothing. We just hold the snare or hold the clap. Next bar, beat 1, beat 2, beat 3, beat 4. That's pretty much it. So let's try clapping. So now instead of one clap, we have a kick and a clap. Let's see how it sounds. 1, 2, 3, start. Kick, kick, snare, oh, kick, kick, snare, oh, kick, kick, snare, kick, kick, snare. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. What happened? 1, 2, 4. 1, 2. Okay, got it, everyone? Try it again. Let's try and get it a bit better. 1, 2, 3, start. Kick, kick, snare. Kick, kick, snare. Excellent. Kick, kick, snare. A kick, kick, snare. Yeah, you know this.
That is the class done.
Don't open the mic like this without a video. Put the video on and talk. Okay. Anyone knows what we just did?
This seems to be the rhythm of We Will Rock You.
This seems to be the rhythm of We Will Rock You. Okay, the problem with screen sharing is people like Soumya Shri are starting to draw things. Please stop drawing and remove all that right now. Otherwise, I'll give you a electric shock from my house. Okay, fine. So this is the rhythm of We Will Rock You, isn't it? Why don't we do it and try to sing it once more? Do it with the singing if possible. 2, 3, start. Doop doop ta, chicka doop doop ta. Sing it. We will rock you. Chicka boom boom ba. Da na 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 na. There's also some Imagine Dragons song like this. I forgot. Na 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 na. Da na na da na na na. Sing it. We will doop doop ta, chicka rock you. Da doop doop. And so on. We will the doop doop da chicka doop doop. So on. Got it? So this rhythm we got. So you can do a few rhythms of your own by writing down a few permutations and try to play around with it. Now where is the kick and snare going to become? Let's say if you're a piano player, the kick will probably be the left hand and the snare will probably be the right hand. So if you look at it on a keyboard, it will be something like this. Kick, kick. I'm still playing We Will Rock You, but rock you. We will rock you. Na, 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 na. So it goes on and on. You can, and now you can do other rhythms also. Like what if you like to do a Bob Marley rhythm? Like maybe this. No woman, no crime. Right? And you assign that it's quite similar to a few other songs which were written way after Bob Marley, right? For example, this song.
That's Dil Hai Chota Sa.
Yeah. So obviously Mr. A.R. Rahman has to have been a huge Bob Marley fan. If he has not heard Bob Marley, no, there's no chance. Impossible. Everyone would have had to heard Bob Marley in order to make reggae music, right? So that is how all these songs, like every composer is inspired by other composers. So you have to understand where the chain goes. So now we've looked at rhythm, we've looked at some tapping and clapping. Now why don't we try singing? So this is where on your mobile phones a good trick to do, always watch my class with a laptop or a desktop, a big screen, so that you can see my notes also clearly. That is important. A mobile phone is absolutely not recommended for this sort of a class. You need a laptop, and I want this experience to be even better than in person. Like I'm done with teachers saying, oh, it will be so good in person, if only we could have taught. I'm done with all that. We've had enough and more students saying that the online classes have a lot of positive things. For one, we are recording this class. For two, I can share notes. I couldn't do this before COVID. So we worked quite hard to improve the teaching as well. So try to keep a big screen as projected on your TV if you have a HDMI cable or a Google switcher. Google has that, right? That box they have. So that's quite cool. You can watch it. You can just hit a button and it just goes to your TV, which is quite cool. If you have that. If you don't have that, at least use a simple laptop to watch the class, and use your mobile phone a lot for a few apps and stuff which I'm going to recommend. The first app which I would suggest is a simple recording app. On an Apple phone, there's something called as voice memos, or if you have an Apple phone, you also have something called as music memos. So for example, if I have a melody here, I can play it back. And this becomes an exercise. So you can store all your exercises neatly under recordings. So if you have a phone, great. You all will know that app, right? Vocal record or voice record or some such thing. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to introduce you to the 5 swaras for today's learning. I don't want to do all, it will take too long. So what are the 5 swaras for today? It's pretty much it. Okay, and we are going to give them names. So let's name these swaras rather than, or actually let's try a rhythm with just singing, then we'll go into naming. Okay, same story here. Drawing my grid or my blocks, putting the bars, and all my music for today is 2-bar music. We are trying to keep it simple, but in the house you have to now extend it to 4 bars, 8 bars, and whatever you wish. Okay. Okay, so this is something now I want you to sing. Now the first thing you will do when you have to sing, and if you don't have any lyrics or words, what will you say? You will say na 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 or la la
Do we have to
la.
write this?
Yes, you should write it. But then again, it's your decision. I'm not. You have to have a neat book. Ideally, when you're writing these notes, make sure your pages also don't have any lines. Lines are useless for a music class. It should be a blank notebook. Absolutely blank. If you have a blank notebook, that's awesome. Not a maths notebook or the ones with those annoying lines. Because there's a lot of figures to draw. And not only in my class, if you're doing piano or guitar, all your teachers will tell you to draw things like a guitar fretboard diagram, to write chords and all that. So keep a neat book for music in general. Blank would be highly recommended. So now if we have to sing, what should we do? We have to say la 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 or na 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 or something. So why don't we use the syllable la and try to see how that goes. And we'll sing this note. Can you all hum this with me? La la. If you like singing higher, you can go la. Even higher. La. I wouldn't recommend going so high unless you have a very good trained voice. Otherwise, something may happen to your voice. Okay, so let's just stick with la. So anytime you see the ticks, what did we used to do earlier? We used to clap. Now we are going to follow a 3-step process. First we'll clap like how we used to do. Then we'll try and do the singing part, la la la. And then we'll try and do swaras. And then this will become one song, which we have to enjoy by the end of it all. Okay, let's clap as usual, how it used to happen, right? Clapping. Ready? Please mute your mics, everyone. What is this? Some of you are just happily unmuting. Okay, 1, 2, 3, start. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Little faster, shall we? Let's get a feel of the swing of the rhythm. 2, 3, start. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. What's also nice is if you hold your hand here, once it sustains. So I'll give you an additional challenge. Here, you should hold your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. So what's going to happen when you sing? Can you not hold on a note for a longer time? La. However long you want, you can sing it for. Can you sing a short note? Yes. La. Can you clap a long clap? See, you can't. But you could simulate it for when you play the guitar or when you sing. Now here I'm going to put another challenge called an X. So here I want you to actually reverse clap. So that means clap X. That's the X. So clap out. While here I want you to hold the clap. 1, 2, hold. Hold it for the whole this thing. 3 beats, isn't it? Now let's do this once more properly. Come on. 1, 2, 3, start. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Excellent. Some of you are over clapping. Just watch out for this. Second bar, I'm moving like this to this. So second bar, I want you to hold the clap. Come on. 1, 2, 3, and go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Awesome. So now I want to sing something. So this is your note. La. Ready? So wherever we see a tick, we have to sing la, which is this note. Come on. 1, 2, 3, go. La, 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 la. Again. La, 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 la. Some of you could go. La, 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 la. La, 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 la. Actually, you have to keep singing this, isn't it? Because the arrow is telling you to sing it, but then we have to breathe also as humans. So you have to figure this whole process out. Maybe you can take a little breath here. Try it again. 2, 3, start. La, 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 la. La, 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 la. Okay. Now I'd request someone's help to tell me how can we make this more interesting.
Yeah, by changing the lala notes.
By changing the lala notes to some words, perhaps some lyrics.
Perhaps, notes,
Or
lyrics.
anything else you suggest?
Changing the pitch of Lala.
That's interesting. Yeah. So what both of them are saying is, yes, you need to change the pitches. Why should it just be la la? Why should it be a stable pitch? Have you ever heard a melody which sounds like this? I highly doubt it. So melodies have different pitches. So to study the pitches, what is the other problem with saying la? La doesn't mean anything for the head. There's no theory. It's just some consonant followed by a vowel. So you need to think when you sing, and you need to sing the correct note. Okay. So for that, I'm going to do just an introduction to the 5 swaras for today's class. That's sa, re, ga, ma, and pa. Okay. So let's just get used to them, and then we'll write it down as we want. And then you also can experiment in your own houses with your own keyboard and whatnot. Okay. So let's look at it again. Sa, re, ga, ma, pa. Everyone, sing that with me. Sa, re, ga, ma, pa. Coming down. Pa, ma, ga, re, sa. Back to sa. Let's do one more. Sa, re, ga, ma, pa. Down. Pa, ma, ga, re, sa. Okay, now I'd like to even have some fun with the ga. I want to do a ga, a flat ga, right? So let's make it sound a bit sad also. Why should it should always sound so happy and uplifting? It can be sad also. Come on, let's try this one. Sa, re, ga, ma, pa. Down. Pa, ma, ga, re, sa. See what happened because of the komal ga? We call this shuddh ga in Hindustani music, and we call this komal ga in which music? Same, Hindustani music only. Now the question to you is, what am I playing on the piano while saying sa re ga ma pa? I'm playing D, E, F sharp, G, A. I'm playing Western notes on the piano, but I'm singing Indian swaras, isn't it? So the question for all of you is, what is the difference between the Western notes on the piano and the Indian swaras for my mind? What am I thinking?
The frequency is the same. Right?
Exactly. Anyone else?
C is sa.
C is not sa. It doesn't have to be sa. That's
Yes, but generally
no, not
starting
generally.
note.
Wrong. C is never sa. In fact, I can happily, right now my sa is D, by the way.
Okay.
My sa also could be E flat if I'm playing with Nora Jones because she likes E flat.
Yeah.
Or it could
Depends on the
be,
pitch that we choose.
yes, so Raghuram has said frequency, Uma has said C, which is a note. So if you combine, yes, the sa could be any Western note, isn't it? It could be some actual pitch, or the way the swara system started in India, no one even cared about the Western notes, to be honest. Why? Because in India we didn't have A, B, C sharp, and E flat, and all that fancy stuff, right? So the whole idea of music theory in this year or in this day and age is to never call it Indian music theory or Western music theory, because it's absolute nonsense. What is Western? First of all, which country in the West the theory are you learning? Are you learning Russian music theory? Are you learning Brazilian theory? Are you learning then even in Europe you have so many. There's Spanish music theory. Like in the first ever guitar class in Spain, they are going to teach you this scale. Right? It's a beautiful Spanish scale. Maybe if you're in Egypt or in the Middle East, they may teach you this scale. Right? So the swaras keep changing. So it's what we try to do with music theory, at least now, is we use the best things of each part of the world. Like for India, this Saregama Pa defeats anything the West will ever invent to train our ear. So we use this principle from India and try to get these things into our head, but then we like the Western things for other things like chords, harmony, actually building the scale and communicating and then transposing and changing. So it's important right now in 2020 to look at music as a very, just call it music. You don't have to say Indian or Western or whatever. In fact, almost 100% of all Bollywood songs are Western, except for the fact that they sing in Hindi. That's the only thing which changed. How does language make something Western? The music is still chords, Western, loops, and whatnot. But anyway, let's try singing this one more time. So what are we trying? We are learning two words now. Major version and minor version. Minor version generally is supposed to sound sad, while the major version is generally supposed to sound happy. So while we do these two versions, hopefully you'll feel these emotions which are happening. The major is supposed to sound very positive, as you may have already heard, while the minor is going to sound a bit more serious. So major, minor. Start. Ready? Come on. With me. Let's sing the swaras. Sa re ga ma pa, down. Pa ma ga re sa. Minor version, please. Sa re ga ma pa, pa ma ga re sa. Last time. Sa re ga ma pa, pa ma ga re sa. Doesn't it feel like a struggle which is going on? While this feels something more like you've achieved something or something positive or happy. Now, can we use this in these rhythms? Of course we can. What I want you people to do now is to actually sing the swaras, but don't sing it in a random timing order. I want you to sing it with the tick marks. Now, do these ticks have anything to do with Western music or Indian music? I think they have more to do with maths than anything else. Forget music. This is purely maths. Each beat is a time value. The beat may last you about a second. Then we say the song is 60 beats per minute. So yeah, you have a beat here, next beat, next beat, next beat. All the beats have to be evenly placed. Otherwise, people won't enjoy the music, and that's it. So this is maths. These are the swaras, and the outcome is either major or minor. So can we practice singing this? I'm going to give you about 20-25 seconds just to get this in order. Then we'll sing it as a group. Start. I'm giving you your sa and trying to not give you everything else. However, in your mobile recorder, you could quickly record the pitches. See? Going down. Going up. Going down again. I hope you're singing with me the swaras. Sing again. Sa, re, ga, ma, pa. Down. Pa, ma, ga, re. Agreed? Okay, now practice singing sa, re, ga, ma, pa, ma, ga, re, sa in this rhythm. Start. Any doubts? Please let me know. Please make sure you all understand everything.
Jason, just one doubt. Like how once this sa re we can like accommodate with this beats?
I didn't understand the doubt, sorry.
Means
See, you have to sing the swaras,
yeah.
Saregama, but don't sing it in random time. Like don't do sa whenever you want, re whenever. I want sa to, maybe I'll make it easier for you people. See, sa is this one, re, ga,
Okay.
ma, pa. Agreed? Pa, ma, ga, re, sa. So you need
Got
to probably, where you are, you keep the clap going, the pulse, and then you need to sing these pitches. Don't worry if you don't sing the correct sa. For now, just try.
Thank you.
Any other questions, guys? I hope you're clapping and singing. And there's a funny problem which happens to us. We clap like how we sing. So make sure your clapping is the pulse and you sing something else. Clapping is always the steady, what do you call it? Pulse. Getting it ready? Any doubts? Raghuram, Tejeshwar, any doubts? Getting it?
Sure.
No, sir, no doubts.
Okay. Try focus. You have to focus twofold. You have to get your timing sorted and you have to get your pitching sorted. Okay, come on. Let's now sing this together. I'm going to try to not play it on the piano. How am I going to do that? I'm only giving you the pulse by playing sa. And I want you people to sing. And I will use my mouse pointer as a guide to starting now. See, the piano is not stopping. You have to stop. Sa. Descending. Pa. Now we'll sing it together. Come on. Sa, re, ga, ma, pa. Pa, ma, ga, re, sa. Sa, re, ga, ma, pa. Pa, ma, ga, re, sa. And so on. If you ask me, this sounds a lot better, right? Lot more rememberable than the other version where we didn't bother about timing. So what have we achieved so far? We've done first of all rhythms with only clapping, which was rather boring. Very quickly it got boring. Then we started doing things like We Will Rock You, which seems to be interesting because you immediately knew, oh, it's that song. Then we are now in the world of singing where anything is possible. You can sing pretty much whatever you want to do. Okay. Now I'd like to do a couple more singing challenges. But before that, what you guys can do is again using the cell phone recorder, and maybe anyone who has a good audio recording cell phone could share that on the WhatsApp group as well. So it can be a good reference for everyone. What is this file going to be for 1 or odd minutes? I'm just going to sing random notes, but I'm going to stick on Saregamapa. I'm going to try to keep those notes, but I'm going to jumble them like mad. I'm not going to do Saregamapa. I'll do Sa Ga Re Ma Ga, Ga Re Sa Ni Sa Pa Ni Sa Ga Re Ma Ga, Pa Ma Ga Re, Ga Re Sa Ni Sa Pa Ni Sa Ga Re Ma Ga, something like that. Okay. Now, whatever I sang right now is, well, it's just a normal melody, right? But I am singing it with some information. Like if I have to sing Sa Ga Re Ma Ga, and if you give me the key of E flat major, which we are going to learn maybe in the next class, it'll be E flat G, F, A flat G, right? B flat, A flat G, F, E flat, Pa Ma Ga Re Sa. You know, so there's no big difference between the names of these fancy notes which they write on these lines and spaces in notation versus the swaras. I would say Indian swaras are more for ear training and the Western theory is more for theory. That's how it is.
Is it Nalina Kanti you were just trying out, Jason?
Sorry?
There's a raga called Nalina Kanti. It was sounding like that.
Oh, interesting. Okay, how does it go? Can you hum it?
Yeah, it's like Sa Ga Re Ma Pa Ni Sa Ni Pa Ma Ga Re Sa Ni Pa Ni Ga Re Ni
One
Pa
song I know.
இந்த நெஞ்சில் நீங்காத தென்றல் நீதானா.
It goes like that. It was nice.
How you
nice
went back to
from.
C.
Yeah, I'm
stuck on D.
D, and I know you're doing D. Okay.
Okay, nice, good. Yeah, whatever. You guys will, some of you seem to have learnt classical naming conventions. So good. So what happens with a raga is they have all these notes and then they put permutations of them together. And also the permutations depend on Arohan and Avarohan, either going up the thing or down the scale. So using that principle, you build scales, or rather you build songs using those scales or ragas as we call it. Can you tell me which song uses this scale?
Can you play it again?
One more time,
Vande
please.
Mataram.
Vande Mataram. Yeah, Vande Mataram.
Yeah.
Desh. Yeah.
The rag Des, you go up some way and then you come down also. Right. Of course, as Western musicians, or with me, since the only Indian music I've learned is by playing with Indian musicians who either I like to play with them or they like to play with me, or hopefully both. They have to communicate to me, right? So they will give me fancy names, you know, like Kalyani Rag or this Rag or that, and I'm like, can you just play the thing? I'll write it down and I'll play it back for you. If you like it, we'll move on. You know, that's generally, it's the same with them. If I have to tell E sharp or F major or G natural and show that to an Indian musician, they are going to start getting scared. So best way actually to play music is to just play music. You just talk, you like the way a Veena player plays. Awesome. You just tell her, request her one day, can we play? Let's come to our studio and let's do a recording. Let's see how it goes. You play whatever you want to play. I may give you a few suggestions, but it's good to learn how to sing, because that's what's helped me a bit. Even though I'm not a singer, it helps to sing, because if I want a sound, I won't know the rag name, but I can get it to you somehow, and you may call it something. That's fine. Okay, so now the last challenge for today's meeting will be, yeah, just record a few things. Then we'll spend 2 or 3 minutes where you people just kind of do your own thing, and that'll also be the homework. Okay, 1 or 2 minutes. We'll just record some basic stuff. I don't know which rag I'm on. I'm just going to be Sare Gama Pa and just trying some assortments. Here and there I may slip in a the or a ni, but it'll all be the shuddh intervals or the major scale intervals. So let's see how it goes. And you will use that as a reference to build your own music over the week for homework. And we are all going to discuss our answers in the next week. Like what did Tiana do, what did Atul do, what did Anjana do. Everyone's answers are going to come because the exercise is going to be very open-ended. You'll have to draw these blocks, right? And you can put the tick marks wherever you want. You can put the swaras wherever you want. You can decide which swaras you want to do also however you want. So doesn't this become a composition then, when I'm not telling you anything? I'm just saying there are these blocks. Use the swaras, which we all use. Make a song. And make sure it's on time. Otherwise people will like it. Or otherwise people will not like it. It has to be on time. Okay. Let's start. One. Keep the recording thing on. You have an app? If you do, I hope you have an app.
We are on headphones, so.
Oh. Yeah, and you may want to mute your mic, otherwise it may
Can we
cause
record it on Zoom meeting itself?
Yeah, anyway
Can we
it's
do a
being
private
recorded, so that we'll share with you. I'm just saying quickly this one small 1 minute thing.
Yeah.
One of you could just quickly record. Okay, we'll try. Yeah, come. 1, 2, 3. Sa re ga ma pa ma ga re sa re ma ga re ga sa sa pa ga re ma ga re sa ga re ma ga re sa ga re ma ga re sa ga ma pa ga re sa ga ma pa pa ma ga re ga re sa pa da pa ma ga re sa ni sa re ga pa ma ga re sa re or sa ni pa da ni sa da pa. Whatever, you can go on and on. So that's a small recording to help you with some swaras. Initially, if you observe, it started with the simple stuff, just going up and down. And then maybe I sang a few popular tunes as well. Well, it could be any song, right? So one good way to even study music, like if you wanted to really know the notes of Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, that's a good way to know it. Once you know the swaras, sa sa pa pa da pa mama ga ga re re sa, what happens after that? You can then convert it to actual notes. So on the piano there is no sa re ga ma pa happening, unfortunately, because it's a specific key, or E flat or F or B. There are 12 of these keys which we play just like that. We play it depending on the requirement. On the guitar it's the same problem. You have to actually find these things, right? But a great way to start is using our voice by singing the notes. Now you may also want to compare swaras with the Irish or the Celtic thing, which is do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, where do is sa, re is our re, it's the same thing, mi is gha, like that. There is a comparison, but in one lifetime I think it's enough to just know one system, right? Sa re ga ma pa, because most of us are Indians, so it's good to just learn the Indian words. But what is it? It's just a consonant followed by a vowel that makes it very interesting to speak, to sing, to communicate. It becomes clear. So wouldn't you agree that it's a lot better than saying or ma 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 ma, when there's an actual ma which you have to actually remember. So anyway, so that was an introduction to intervals. We've done some rhythm patterns, and the first homework for the next week's class, which I want you to do, is to record yourself singing and this thing, clapping, keeping the pulse, what we call as the pulse at least, and sing your composition and make sure it is aligned with the blocks you drew. So if you've drawn some tick mark somewhere at beat 3, you should actually perform it at the beat 3, isn't it? You shouldn't be doing whatever you want to do. And are you allowed to do some other popular song by someone else? Absolutely not. It will be your own song. So you have to compose your melody. Okay, and how many bars would you need for this melody? I don't think 2 are enough. I would like you to do it with at least 4 or even 8 bars. Okay, and see how that goes. So let's write down the homework and wind up.
Do you want the earlier recording to be shared in the group?
Yeah,
one that you
please.
just
Whoever's
sent?
recorded it, the first person who shares it, awesome. Please share it. Just make sure the quality is a bit good as well.
It may not be great, but it is audible.
As long as it's audible, that's all. Share it. But remember, you have the video, you can see the thing.
I have a question. Can I ask?
Yes, of course.
Yeah. So, do the bars have to be of a fixed interval? Like, usually, are there of fixed interval, or do we have bars with different sizes? Just a doubt. Like.
Good doubt. So right now I did not specify how long the bar is. How much distance are you trying to think? In terms of absolute time, like minutes and seconds, or what?
In terms of minutes and seconds or anything,
Yeah.
like beats.
But can a human ever count 1 second smoothly to save his or her life?
No.
Exactly. So don't you think a musician has the same problem? And don't you think musicians need to work on more humanly possible things? So what we do, we just try to maintain a steady pulse, a steady but consistent pulse. And it's okay. You can just say, okay, I want to do this composition fast. And then the speed of the beat will be... Maybe I want a slower composition. This is the speed. Now, is it important to know what this speed is? Well, not really, because how would you only know it, right? Yeah. So that's the idea. However, if you're recording this in a music recording application, then you need to know this tempo so that you record your part and then the other people follow from there. So that is where you need to learn this thing called tempo. Tempo is something called, it's for time, to measure the speed of the beat. I guess that was your question, the speed of the beat.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Yeah. So a beat is a time container. Remember, it is, I repeat, is a time container for music. So the good thing about the beat is you can do so many things, as we are going to do in the next class. So you can play 3 notes in one beat, as long as you know how to divide it well, right? Next beat you can do 1 note. The next beat you can do 2 notes. Last beat you can do 4 notes. So that's quite cool. You can do a melody like... That's the melody which got built using this. But let's leave that for the next class. Next class will be all about the actual Western notes, more on beat division and a few more things, and we'll revise the assignment. So today's homework is rather simple. There's not much to do, but you can do this and come the next week, and from the next Saturday it will just be a 2-hour class with a small break after 50 to 1 hour. Okay, cool. That's it then. So I hope you all typed the name and ID and all that on the WhatsApp group. That's pretty much the main thing we need from you people. And yeah, that's it. Thank you.
So will
Thank you,
we
Jason.
get an intimation about the individual, the class, batch class that is going to happen during the week?
Yeah, you'll get it latest by Wednesday, Tuesday or Wednesday.
Okay.
So, but the theory class of mine is confirmed for next Saturday.
Yeah.
Mine will always be on Saturdays, either 12 to 2 p.m. like it was today, or else 2 to 4 p.m. on some occasions where we have another batch. In fact, now also we have another batch starting after y'all. So between the window of 12 to 4 will be your class. Okay.
Jason, one last question. The
Yeah.
piano classes, would you be teaching, or is it somebody else in your faculty would be the practical classes?
There are 2 of us who teach piano. So I do mornings and Anirban does evenings. So it depends on the schedule. There are 2 of us who teach piano.
Sure. Thank you.
Awesome. Cool. Okay then. Thank you. See you all next week. Do your homework and practice.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, Jason.
Bye.
Bye, sir.
Yes, sir.
Bye,
Thank
sir.
you.
Thank you, Jason.
Thank you.
Everyone, bye.
Bye.